Hello, I'm Tony Craig. This is F1 Grandstand, and this is, of course, your watch along for the Japanese Grand Prix. Quick sit rep. It is 5:35 a.m. in the UK. I'm up, I'm at it, I'm ready to go. I hope you are too. What a day. Yesterday, qualifying, the young pretender Kimi Antonelli showing the world just how quick he is yet again. George Russell in his post-qualifying interview saying they had problems. George's car was a nightmare. There was things that were going wrong with it. Do we believe him? Or was it more excuses from George Russell? Kimi, though, excellent work to qualify. P1, Russell P2, Piastri, McLaren, back on form. Up there, mixing it with the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc, P4, Norris, P5, Hamilton, P6. Gasly, another fantastic qualifying performance, up into P7. Hadjar, P8, outperforming his teammate Max Verstappen. Would you believe it? And then, guess what? Arvid Lindblad outperformed Liam Lawson. Again, got through to the top 10 and qualified P10. Then we had the Audi of Bortoleto, P9. Then we bring up the following 10 places of Verstappen P11, Ocon P12, Hulkenberg P13, Lawson P14, Colapinto P15, and then the Williams of Sainz and Albon 16, 17, Behrman down in 18, and then you got the two Cadillacs and then the two Aston Martins where we probably expect them to be. Hang on a second. How are you all this morning? I'm just going to give my glasses a little clean. Is everybody feeling up and ready for this? We've got all the data. We've got coffee. I've even got a green juice to get me through. And now I've even got clean glasses. Oh, gosh. This all-nighter doesn't get easier. Lita, Charles and Lewis going to turbo their way up the pot. Turbo way on the start of the race, causing chaos until you get to straight. Exactly. Hype for the start, no choke. Exactly. Look, this what. Let's give a few predictions. First prediction is you've got the Ferrari Leclerc P4. Is he going to be in P1 by turn 1? Lap 1? Could be. Yes, the Dodus Row. Gemma, Queen of the Chats in there. Thane. T-City's hair starting to look like a bit Ace Ventura. I know. You're not wrong. This is, yeah. I know. I mean, I'm up. I'm ready. My hair is a bit of a mess. You're right. Oh, got my coffee. Have you all got your coffee in hand? So, yes. It's going to be an exciting start. And I'll tell you what else as well. Now the McLarens are back in the mix. Really, a true contender, I would say, for the Ferrari pace. Are they on pace with Mercedes over the race? I don't know. But what am I expecting? I'm expecting more racing. We saw in Shanghai. Really, it was Mercedes out in front. Then Ferrari were really out on their own. Just racing each other. Some fantastic racing, I think we can all agree. But now, with McLaren in the mix, I'm expecting there to be a lot more racing. It won't necessarily be Ferrari racing themselves either. I have a feeling that the Ferrari and McLaren are going to be truly in the mix together. But Lights Out is in 20 minutes time. Let me take you around the screen. If you're brand new to F1 Grandstand and you're brand new to the watch alongs, as you can see below me, live data, track data. As the cars are out on track, we see them just below me down here. And then to the right of the screen, you can see at the top of the screen, you've got a timer, the amount of laps left, whether the track's clear or if there's an incident, yellow flag. You've obviously got the track temperature. Then you have all the drivers, the tyre that they're on, last lap, their best lap, the interval between the cars. Then we've got sector 1, 2, and 3 broken down, color-coded into mini sectors. Where those mini sectors are yellow, it means 0 improvement for that driver. Where those mini sectors are green, it means personal best for that driver. And where those mini sectors are purple, it means that driver is fastest of all through those mini sectors. Then we have the gear of each car, what gear they're in at any given time, the RPM of the car, and the speed of the car. Kyle's in there. I've got all the people in the UK getting up early. I like to see it. I know Kyle's not in the UK. But Gemma's UK, up early. Reese Cup. Leclerc leads the race by turn 1, Thane says. Kimi messes up the start. No, don't be jinxing Kimi after such a brilliant qualifying performance. Piastri wins the race, Thane. And Lawson crashes into someone. Well, listen, I'd probably say if you could get that bet in your local bookmaker, that's not a bad accumulator, that. Updo at the back. That's just bed hair. Just it's not supposed to be like that. That's me trying. Should have put my hat on. Should have put my hat on. Oh, you know my race hat, my through the night hat, as I like to call it. So whenever I'm having to do streams in the middle of the night, I always have to pop my hat on. Lita says, let Lewis win the championship this year so he can retire and do fashion. Just my ridiculous opinion. Well, I think if Lewis wins the championship this year, got to remember, Fernando Alonso's 45. He's 3 years older than Lewis. Lewis, might want to do another year if he wins. Try and get a 9th world championship. The best thing about Lewis this year is he's competing with his teammate. A little bit slower than Leclerc yesterday in qualifying, but that does tend to be the case with Lewis. Leclerc is a qualifying master. He's brilliant in qualifying. So good over a lap, Charles Leclerc. Peaky Blinders, Gemma says, Jeremy, I see you in there. George, big upset today. Yeah, he said, I think so. Good night. I think Kimi Antonelli's going to beat George Russell. I actually think George Russell's going to have an incident today. I don't think he's going to finish the race. That's for what it's worth, my little prediction. My prediction is Kimi Antonelli P1. P2, I said Hamilton. P3, I said Leclerc. P4, I said Piastri. And P5, I said Behrman. Behrman is not looking like a P5 contender today, starting down in P18. But Gasly, maybe. Norris. If Norris can finish the race, look, he's going to be there or thereabouts. Kyle says Lewis is making 40 to 50 million a year in endorsements. He should retire. I think Lewis is actually making 70 or 80 million. I think his contract at Ferrari is 80 million, 70 million a year. Giuseppe says Lewis won't leave Ferrari until Ferrari is back up there instead of riding on the coattails of the past. Lewis will go only when he decides to go. Exactly. And I think now if his girlfriend's Kim Kardashian, she will want her boyfriend to be running in Formula 1. Damon Swoops, hey, what's the time in London right now? Here in Vegas, 9:45. In London right now, it is 5:44 in the AM. Early mornings for us here in the UK. Mystic Mungus Lunga says, I don't want Lewis to retire. Next year will be the 20th anniversary of Lewis and Fernando being teammates at McLaren. It'd be cool to see them drive together again in a competitive team. I don't think we'll ever see Fernando Alonso and Lewis in the same team. I don't think that's ever going to happen. Right, but if Aston Martin can give Fernando Alonso a competitive car and Ferrari can stay competitive, could we see Alonso still in Formula 1 next year? We could do. And Hamilton, see them fighting up at the top. Yes, Flatlander, Shropshire represented in the house. Well done you, getting up early in the UK. Cedric, 60 million to 70 million annually, Lewis. Yeah, it's crazy amount of money, isn't it? Yeah, I think it might be closer to 70. Plus, he's got an ambassador deal with Ferrari as well for like 10 years after he finishes. 12:45 here for Chef. Beers on ice. Let's go. Yes, Chef. Absolutely. Kiori. Morning, ladies and gents. Good morning, Kiori. Lita. Lewis and Kardashian. How odd. I know it's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? I don't know. I get the feeling. I've never watched the Kardashians. I'll tell you that now. But I get the feeling that Kim Kardashian likes the fact that she sort of dates people who are superstars, and Lewis is that. He is a superstar. $12:45 in Miami, baby. Yes, Kaori. Oh, Kaori, you're in Miami, baby. Love that. Ah, oh, Miami's a place, isn't it? What a town. You're going to be there for the Miami Grand Prix, Kiori. Awesome. That's a Grand Prix I'd love to go to. Real party. Oh, yeah. I've got live chat on, Thane. Live chat is on, guys. I think I'm in the right setting. Live chat's on. Yeah. Fred Vasseur there, looking quite calm. Looks like he's on... I don't know what he's on. He had his phone out. Maybe he's checking F1 Grandstand. I know he likes to do that. Fred Vasseur, if you're watching, good luck today, buddy. We're rooting for Ferrari. We're hoping for that wonder start again from the two Ferraris, from Hamilton and Leclerc, getting in, mixing it up with Mercedes and McLaren on the first corner. I'm so excited for it, actually, guys. Yes, Curie, love it. I'll be at the Miami GP yet again. Yes, have it. Lewis better find somebody else. Kim K eyeing his fortune. I think Kim Kardashian's got a few quid herself. I think Kim Kardashian's not short of money. Does she need Lewis's money? I don't know. Shemma says, don't lie. You've defo watched the Kardashians. No. I think the only Kardashian I watched was the O.J. Simpson trial when he was when he was O.J.'s lawyer. That's about as much of the Kardashians I've seen on television. Kiori. The great thing is that since it's at the stadium, they broadcast the race on the jumbotrons inside the stadium, so you can go inside and watch the race in the shade. Yeah, brilliant. I really want to get to the Miami Grand Prix, but it's in 5 weeks' time. It's going to be a good race, actually. Miami's going to be exciting because we're going to see upgrades. Upgrades in different area codes. Yeah, we're going to see hopefully some upgrades from Aston Martin. Cadillac, I'm expecting there to be some improvement by Miami as well. Ferrari will get the Macarena wing back for Miami as well. Williams may have lost a few pounds with their overweight Williams. And has anyone got to... Right, the mystery of Williams. The mystery of Williams. So, obviously, I've done watch-alongs for FP1, FP2, FP3, qualifying, and now the race. Williams. FP2. FP1, they were 2.5 seconds a lap slower than the rest of the field. FP2, out of nowhere, they found a second a lap and they were mixing it all with the midfield. If you're on the stream, I was shocked. We were all shocked. We were going, what the hell has just gone on with Williams? McLaren had already improved their pace. I mean, what's going on? Have all the Mercedes power units suddenly hit party mode? Then, in FP3 and qualifying, Williams were back to being 2.5 seconds a lap slower again. Hence their qualifying position down 16th and 17th. So, I don't know what's going on with Williams. They seem to find some pace. And then, boom, back down to 2.5 seconds a lap slower. Gisette, thanks for your super chat. By the way, all super chats guaranteed to be read out live. Gisette, never watched it. It contributed to our downfall. Yeah, the Kardashians, I think. Look, I'm not knocking anyone who likes to watch that stuff. But come on. There's better options. Yes, Kaori, I've got to come over. I know if I don't make it this year, wouldn't it be great to have a party in Miami? The Miami Grand Prix is a good one to everyone to get to. One, it's the weather's nice. Two, it's a party town, baby. And three, I think a lot of our F1 subscribers would like to meet there. Miami or Vegas? I think we just need another year. We need to get... I'll tell you what we need to do. We need the channel because we need the channel to get to maybe... We'll probably start making some money if we get to 100,000 subscribers. And if we get to 100,000 subscribers, which we are way off that, we need to grow maybe 10 times as big. If we get 10 times as big, we might be in a position where we can start doing that stuff. Thane says, sad that women like watching the Kardashians more than women's sports. If 25% of the Kardashians fans watched F1 Academy, they'd be crushing it. Race Cup, Vegas, baby. Yeah, well, then, you know, wouldn't it be A's? We need to get, we could get like, I mean, this is the dream. If it was Vegas, we could get like some big hotel like suite or something. So we could have like live streams, get everyone in, have like an F1 grandstand party. But we'll do like the watch-alongs. We'll still do the watch-alongs and have a live show. Jack Black on the television and do a live show. But we can have our own F1 grandstand party as well. We'll rip it up. We'll party like it's 1999. That's what we'll do. Gemma votes for Vegas over Miami. Yes, Daryl. He's in the house. Good afternoon. Afternoon for Daryl. Gisette, never watched the Kardashians or any reality TV shows. Good for you. They do get, but you know what? It's true. When we talk about viewing figures, I mean, I think the Kardashians was watched by, I think, was it 300 or 400 million people around the world or something? It's crazy. We need to get that sort of viewership here on F1 Grandstand. You need to like the video, spread the word. And if you're as excited as I am for the start of the Japanese Grand Prix, smash a like on the video, join in. And if you're watching for the first time, get in the chat, say hello, tell us where you're watching from. David Tringle says he's up. Have you been up all night, David? Yeah, I'm up for not for long. David, you do not want to miss the start of this race. I guarantee it's going to be exciting. And it's coming up, just 15 minutes. Remember the first 10 laps of pick your race, Melbourne or Shanghai. The first 10 laps were electric, back and forth. Gisette says, really dislike DTS because it was so self-conscious with just a bunch of rich people talking on their yachts between some racing. Big yawn. Yeah, I mean, I quite like a look. I quite like Drive to Survive, you know, just I don't mind it. I think it's, you know what I like about Drive to Survive? It's brought a new audience to Formula One. Same as the F1 movie. And I enjoyed the F1 movie. If you leave your brain at the door and just get into it, it's good. Yeah, Larry, to get coffee, people. Get coffee, David. Stay for the start. I set an alarm and slept through it. I did the same thing. I'm up now, though, baby. I'm up. Let's go. Have you seen how I don't know if you're watching the footage. Louis Vuitton have got the trophy in it. They've got a luggage. They've got some luggage. Louis Vuitton luggage for traveling the trophy around. Kaori's never watched DTS either. Do you know what? Drive to Survive is good. If you're brand new to the sport and F1, I think Drive to Survive is a good gateway. It's a good gateway program to get you into Formula One. Yeah, Sulu says, from an entertainment point of view, DTS is great. Realism-wise, horrid. Yeah, I'd agree. But that's what's happening with Formula One though. It's sort of crossing over to a new audience because of the way they put together Drive to Survive. And Apple TV have got their own version of Drive to Survive coming. They're putting some big money into Formula One this year. Oh, Gisette says F1 the movie was my gateway. That's good. And of course, Sonny Hayes. He's my doppelganger. Everyone keeps telling me and Brad Pitt, you know, we could be brothers. Me and Sonny Hayes. F1 game was my gateway, says Thane. Yeah, that's a good way in. Participating. Yeah, I think I was at the national anthem. I've not got the sound up. I've only got pictures. Otherwise, you'd hear it and then I'd get in trouble. I think Lita's advice is the best, by the way. Get coffee, people. That's what we need. Get your coffee down here. Gisette says maybe you can get a cameo in F1 the movie too. Listen, if anybody knows anybody over at Apple TV or the producers of the F1 movie, get me a gosh damn cameo. I want to be in that. That would be, honestly, if F1 Grandstand, even a little clip came up, you know, where they do the social media report on Sonny Hayes, blah blah blah, and it's F1 Grandstand saying Sonny Hayes again causing carnage at lap 1 turn 1 where Lewis Hamilton was taken out at Monaco, you know, and they had a little clip like you get on Drive to Survive from some of the YouTube channels saying, yeah, get me on it. If anyone knows the producers, petition them and say you need to get F1 Grandstand on the F1 movie, the second F1 movie. I'm here for it. I'll do it for free as well. If you're watching, you don't even need to pay me. I'll give you the clip for free. Yeah, Gemma says, this channel was my gateway. Love that. Yes, Prodigy, in the stream, buddy. Let's go. Time to get excited. Wiz, George Russell, talking through the Japanese national anthem. Yeah, zero respect from George Russell. He was moaning yesterday as well. All the problems going on with his car. Blaming his car for his P2 performance and losing out again to Kimi Antonelli. Oh, the excuses from Russell keep flowing. Yeah, David, it could all be in the cameo. Exactly. If we can get the screen on, the live chat's kicking. I can set it up so I'm doing a little live stream. You guys are on. All the chat's going through talking about the fictional characters. Sonny Hayes, blah, blah, blah. Is he too old to be in Formula One? The chat's going crazy. Can he still do it for Apex Racing? I've already written it. I've already done it. You could clip that up and put it in. Yeah. Yeah, we should. We need to get them on it. And at the same time, wearing some F1 Grandstand merch as well. Yes, Jerman. Good morning. My alarm saved me from sleeping through the race. That's what I mean. You made it in time, though. We've still got 8 minutes before lights out. Gisette, what do you mean Sonny won't be driving? Sonny Hayes will be driving. Do you think he'll be team principal? But he will be part of it. I'm hoping the second driver will be a woman. Yeah, they definitely should have the woman in Formula One in the second F1 movie. It'd be a wise choice. There is a delay. How long's the delay, Chef? How long is the delay? Lita, bourbon, coffee or strong tea. Doesn't matter, guys, as long as you're wide awake. That's it. Put a little shot of whiskey or brandy in your coffee. Yeah, Gemma says Tony's already done the thinking. I've already written it. I've already written my own part in the new F1 movie. Yeah, drivers aren't in the cars yet, exactly. It's 7 minutes. It looks like there's going to be a little delay here. Kimi Antonelli looks focused and ready. Lando Norris, not even got his helmet on. He's got some very nice AirPods in. Kyle says maybe Horner will be the team principal in the F1 sequel. He'd love it. Prodigy saying the rain is coming, possibly. Well, if the rain comes, well, that can change everything. Great news for Hamilton. I'd always back Hamilton in a wet weather race. Starts late by 10 minutes. That's good. We've got each other to keep each other. We can keep each other company. And that's good for any of the late ones who's currently sleeping through their alarm right now, think they've missed the start, and then, lucky them, delayed by 10 minutes. Hey, Dave, mate, let's go. Oscar having a Jimmy at the moment. Well, I'll tell you what, Jimmy Riddle. Look, Dave, Oscar Piastri back on form, fastest of the two McLarens. I am expecting Oscar Piastri to put in a shift today. His first Grand Prix of the season. Red Bull midfield team, hell yeah, they are a midfield team. And you got Hadjar racing Lawson, really. Pierre Gasly in the Alpine midfield as well, at the top of the midfield. And here's my prediction: top of the midfield, you're going to get Hadjar, Lindblad, Bortoletto, Hulkenberg, maybe Verstappen as well, all fighting it out for like P7 today. Are we expecting rain during the race? Let's have a look what the track temperature is. Right, let's have a look what the temperature is. Temperature right now, 28 degrees. Air temperature, 18 degrees. Humidity, 52.2%. I don't know. I mean, are we going to get wet weather today? I mean, there's a chance. Gemma says Lando's got the F1 grandstand on the earpods. I think he has. And it's the black and gold, if you noticed. He had black and gold earpods in, Lando Norris, listening to the commentary and our chat on F1 Grandstand. It's how he likes to get ready for the race. He listens to our little warm-up. He gets all fired up. He's heard me say Oscar Piastri, definitely the quicker of the two McLaren drivers this season, even though Piastri's not had a race start yet. He's getting him fired up. Lando Norris, he loves it. Massive fan of F1 Grandstand. Yeah, Lita, me too. Lita says, I want to see how these cars drive in the rain. We haven't seen it yet. You know, the extra torque being delivered by the battery. I would say these cars are a bloody handful in the wet weather. And it's going to take the smart drivers to do well. It always separates the men from the boys, though, doesn't it? The wet weather racing. The best drivers do always seem to do better in the wet. I'm excited to see it. We might have to wait till Spa, though. Gemma saying it doesn't look like it'll rain today. Might do a rain dance as Mercedes can crash out, says Dave Smith. Yeah, the rain down. Look, if the rain comes, it will be the first time we've seen how these 26 cars handle. And I don't know. The truth is, I don't know. I don't know how good they're going to do in the wet, because they have this. It's unpredictable how the power comes in. All the drivers are complaining that if they have to do an adjustment, if they put the power on too early in a corner after making an adjustment, it throws out the power distribution for the entire lap. It's interesting. Cedric said Lewis did some testing in the rain. I bet he did well. If anyone's going to drive these cars quick in the rain, it's Lewis. Hooked on Classics. You made it. You're in before the start. You've made it before lights out, Hooked on Classics. Well done you, buddy. Gisette, this is what I love about F1 racing. It's all about adjusting to the conditions, the weather, etc. Yeah, there's always something. You can always throw a wrench into the works for my American followers, subscribers, or a spanner in the works, because weather can suddenly change everything. A safety car can change everything. A bad pit stop, an incident. There's so many things that can affect the outcome of the race. A mistake. One mistake in the new era of cars, can cost you half a second a lap. The window for the perfect lap with these new cars is narrow. Flatlander says these new regs have stopped Max's corner tactics on overtaking. No bully moves. Love it. It's true. Certain driving styles are not working too well. Everyone says you need to drive these cars optimally. It's like 99%. If you get your lift and coast at the wrong time, your braking point at the wrong point on the track, it can throw you out for half a second. If you try and do what Leclerc said in qualifying whereas qualifying used to reward you for being right on the ragged edge, for even driving just over the ragged edge. Sometimes you can find the extra tenth or two in qualifying. These cars don't reward you for that. They want you really to be a percent under the ragged edge, and you'll find that's the optimum time. That's what Charles Leclerc said yesterday, and he's not the only one. Sulu says, yeah, what can affect the outcome? A horrible strategy. Look at you, Ferrari. Exactly. Not bringing the Ferrari in under a virtual safety car or safety car can cost you a lot. It can cost you second place, like we saw in Melbourne for Charles Leclerc. So we're nearly at lights out. Yeah, Choked on Classic says, I woke up needing a wee. I checked phone. Oh, race start. You made it, though. Hooked on Classics, you made it. Lights out coming up, though. Thank your bladder, says Kaori. Exactly. It's good news. We're nearly there. Get excited. Get excited. Max Verstappen, last year's winner, of course, here at Suzuka. One stop was a winning strategy last year. And that's all we've seen, haven't we? One stop since the start of the season. One stop in Melbourne. One stop in Shanghai. Oh, and we're going to get a one stop again in Suzuka. Unless we get safety car incidents. Oh, what is going on? Just seen Aston Martin there at the back. Cadillac, 19th and 20th with Perez and Bottas. Behrman down in 18th. It's not like him to be down there in 18th. Albon 17th, Sainz 16th, Colapinto down in 15th. Not good enough, Colapinto, when your teammates qualifying P7. Not good enough. Lawson P14. Not good enough when Lindblad's P10. He was so excited after his qualifying performance. 13th, Hulkenberg 12th. Esteban Ocon 11th. Max Verstappen couldn't even make it through to the top 10. Lindblad top 10 in the Racing Bulls. Bortoletto, P9. Then we've got P8, Isaac Hadjar, showing Max Verstappen how to qualify. It's been a long time since Verstappen's been out qualified by his teammate. 7, Gasly. 6, Hamilton. 5, Norris. P4, Leclerc. P3, Oscar Piastri. P2, George Russell. And P1, the young pretender, Kimi Antonelli. Who's going to be brave and start on softs? Nobody. I don't think anyone. Max might be the only one who would do that. It'll be a hards. It'll be a mediums. The strategy today will be mediums and hards. I think. Yes, Flatlander. Flatlander's expecting fireworks on turn 3. I think so. I think we're going to see fireworks all around lap 1. Yes, Giuseppe, Max has won Suzuka 4 times. And he's going to be furious. Oh, but you know, if Max is looking at his teammate who found more pace out of that car, what does that do for Max? Do we get vintage Max Verstappen? Do we get an improved Max Verstappen? Do we get Max Verstappen going all-out attack? I'm not sure all-out attack works in these cars, though. But are we going to get some overtakes? I think we will see some overtakes. I think turn 1 is... I think lap 1... I think the first 10 laps of this race are going to be electric. Darryl says, tyre degradation is very low. Yeah, we're going to be a one-stopper for sure. Lighter cars as well, lower downforce. Tyre degradation in general is down. Cars are out on track. I can see the engineers leaving the track. Tyre warmers coming off. Cars in position. They will be rolling out for their formation lap. Will the McLarens make it round the formation lap? It's yet to be seen. Oscar Piastri with 2 DNSs. Lando Norris with problems with his battery in Shanghai. Same with Oscar Piastri, but both cars out on track right now. They might get to start a Grand Prix. Very good news. Big steps forward for McLaren this weekend. Cars are off round for the formation lap. Mercedes away. McLaren of Oscar Piastri pulls away. So, one-stop strategy. 18 laps if they're on the mediums. going on to the halves to do 35 laps. People starting on the hards, probably going to softs with 20 laps to go. That's what they're playing with here. If you start on the hard, you get the advantage of maybe getting on the softs for the last 20 laps, getting that advantage of the slightly quicker tyre. But only Bottas making the choice to start on the hard. Cedric predicting that Russell will pass Kimi Raikkonen, get your brain in gear, Kimi Antonelli on the first corner. Sulu says Oscar and Lando immediately blow up. Pete Sports, good to have you in the chat, buddy. Leclerc into the first three, turn 3. Hamilton for the win. Go for it, Pete. I've got Hamilton down as P2, Leclerc P3. That's my prediction. Yes, Kaori. Let's cook up some strategy. I mean, it's a bold prediction. I do think I do think Leclerc could. Even Hamilton, P6, he's on the third row. Looking at the way the Ferraris can start, I've seen Hamilton and the Ferrari does have enough pace. I think Leclerc will definitely. I think both Ferraris will pass Piastri by turn 3. I think the Ferraris will be ahead of the McLarens by turn 3. Could we see Leclerc passing the Mercedes? I'm here for it. I am here for it. Kimi Antonelli leading the procession of cars round in this formation lap. I've got my green juice to give me all the vitamins I need. Avocado, spinach, apple and mango. Breakfast of champions at 6 a.m. Oh, get the goodness in. While all you guys are watching in the evening, early morning for me, getting the green juice in me, getting the goodness in. Well, some of you are probably drinking bourbon and brandy and wine and having a good time like you should be if it's night time for you. But me, green juice. Yeah, good night. It is Piastri's first race. He's fast though. He's been quick all weekend. He's been quicker than Norris all weekend. Should I be saying world champion Norris? Yes, they're pulling in. They're taking their positions, looking for those blue lights. The new start procedures for 26, giving them an extra 5 seconds to warm up their turbos, spool up their turbos. But still hasn't helped everyone get a quicker start than Ferrari. Okay, car's in position. Turbo spooling up. Okay, here we go. Lights out and they're away. Mercedes away. Ferrari of Leclerc in between the two Mercedes. The McLarens have got out in front. Let's go Piastri and Leclerc. P1 for Piastri. P2 for Leclerc. George Russell slipping down to P4. Both McLarens with a good start. 1 and 3 for the McLarens. P2 for Leclerc. Hamilton up. P5. We're immediately behind George Russell. What a start for the McLarens. What a start for Leclerc. Hamilton attacking George Russell as well. It's a great start. Clean by all of your drivers. Clean start. No contact. Great start though for McLaren. P1 for Piastri. Clean racing. Hamilton in front of Antonelli. Antonelli dropping back from P1 to P6. George Russell in P4. What has happened to Kimi Antonelli's day? To drop back from P1 to P6 is devastating. Terrible start for Kimi Antonelli. But here we go. Quick update. So P1, Piastri, Leclerc up to P2, Norris P3, George Russell P4, Hamilton P5, Antonelli P6, Gasly holding on to P7, Hadjar holding on to P8, Lindblad P9, Verstappen P10, Ocon 11, 12 for Lawson, 13 for Bortoletto, 14 Colapinto, Sainz 15, Behrman 16, Albon 17. Then we got the Perez of 18. What's happened to the Hulk? Hulkenberg down in P19. The Mercedes of Antonelli passing Lewis Hamilton up to P5 with a clean move. The extra power of the Mercedes really showing there with that overtake on Hamilton. Russell down 2 spots. Antonelli down 4 places. What a start at the start of this Grand Prix. Hamilton holding 6th. No movement from him. No movement from Gasly. Lindblad up 2 places. Great start from Arvid Lindblad. From P10 to P8. Who would have thought it that Oscar Piastri would be out in P1 by lap 2? 2 Mercedes though behind Lando Norris. Oh, we've got action at the. We've got both Red Bulls racing each other. Hadjar and Verstappen's gone past Hadjar in a clean move. Was that a team order? I don't think so, but it looked like the pass. Oh no, Hadjar's attacking Verstappen again. The 2 Red Bulls are racing each other down in P9 and P10. Hadjar's not making it easy. But then we've got Esteban Ocon all over the gearbox of Hadjar. This midfield gap between Hadjar, Verstappen and Ocon. Hadjar's put a move back on Verstappen. He's not letting his senior teammate have that space, have that position without a fight. Hadjar putting the move straight back on to Verstappen. Verstappen's taking it back again. Back and forth between Verstappen. Hadjar's down now. He's lost the space to Ocon. Using that energy to fight Verstappen meant now that he wasn't able to defend against Ocon. Ocon up to TP10. The racing is exciting in the midfield now. Lindblad, though, still holding on to P8. Verstappen on his gearbox. But Hadjar, they're saying, look, I am going to race. I'm here to race. I don't care if it's Max Verstappen, Lindblad, Ocon. I will race you all in the midfield. Verstappen up to P9. Next stop for Verstappen is Arvid Lindblad in the sister team in the Racing Bulls. But at the top, Piastri pulling out a 1.4 second gap to Charles Leclerc in the clean air for Piastri. Then we've got Russell just under a second behind Leclerc. Norris. So Russell's making ground. He's made short work of the McLaren of Norris, and now he's hunting down Leclerc. Antonelli still in P5, Norris P4, Hamilton P6. Hamilton running where he started. Stayed out of trouble. Started the Grand Prix P6, still running in P6, and a 1.6 second gap between Hamilton and Gasly. But can Hamilton chase down? Oh, Russell's made it look easy. Passing Charles Leclerc. Passed him like he was stood still. I mean, George Russell, after not a great start, clawing his way back through the field to find himself in P2. Now he's hunting down Oscar Piastri. Just 1.7 seconds. Well, that's quite a long time, actually. 1.7 seconds gap between Russell and Piastri. Will he catch him? I'm sure he will. That Mercedes looks like it's in a different formula. It's so quick the way he passed Leclerc. He made it look easy. Kimi Antonelli on the gearbox now of Lando Norris. I believe Kimi Antonelli is going to make the move. Probably within the next lap and a half. But we've got Lando Norris moving slower than... His definitely pace is slower than Antonelli's. So what this is doing is allowing Hamilton to stay in touch with Kimi Antonelli and Norris. as they fight each other, we could see Hamilton just bridge that 0.8 second gap between him and Antonelli. Antonelli all over the gearbox of Norris. And Hamilton staying within touching distance of Antonelli. George Russell, wow, exciting start. Not quite as much back and forth as we saw in the start of Shanghai, but still exciting racing. Let's get that swamp juice down me. Yes, David. That Mercedes looks like it's in a different formula. So much more power than anybody else. It does. It really looks like it's in a different formula of its own. Yeah, Mystic Mungus, you're right. George already 1.4 seconds ahead of Leclerc right now. Yeah, that Mercedes has got... the pace is electrifying, literally, pun intended. But yeah, so much quicker than the rest of the field. So much quicker than the rest of the field. And if you're watching right now and you're enjoying the Formula 1 racing, do smash a like on the video if you don't mind. Sooner the better. It does tell YouTube that, hey, this is worth watching. It's great for the channel. And we are on our road to 15,000 subscribers. If you haven't subscribed yet, join the community. Subscribe. Get involved in the chat. Tell us where you're watching from. Give us your predictions. But it is close racing at the moment. Up at the top. Piastri, who would have thought it, out leading your Japanese Grand Prix here at Suzuka with 1 second interval between him and George Russell. Russell pulling out a gap now of nearly 2 seconds between Russell and Leclerc. Norris, though, still struggling there. P4, not gaining too much ground on Leclerc. Antonelli all over the gearbox of Lando Norris. Hamilton staying in touch as well. And those 6 really pulling away from the rest of the field. Gasly, 2 seconds behind Hamilton. Clean racing, though. It was a great start. Clean racing. And the McLaren's got away brilliantly. And here's my question to the chat. Why? The McLaren's running the same power unit as George Russell and Kimi Antonelli in the Mercedes. Why did the McLaren's get such a good start and the Mercedes get such a horrible one? What's going on? Are the McLaren's running the same turbos as Mercedes? I don't think they are. If McLaren have built their own gearbox, which they have, are they running different turbos? I would say maybe. Wow, on board with Charles Leclerc showed an amazing start. Yes, Kieran City fan from Bristol, England, watching at my parents' house. Welcome to the chat, Kieran. So glad you are with us today. And being in the UK, you got up nice and early, just like I did. 5:30 AM start for us here at F1 Grandstand. And you're so welcome to this community, Kieran. Don't be shouting too loud, though, at the television and waking up your parents. Engine mapping, Jeremy. That is the answer. Lots of people bringing new engine maps to the race here at Suzuka in Japan. McLaren looks like they brought a new engine map because that car is performing far better. Ferrari was supposed to have brought a Japanese engine map for their car to reduce wheel spin, to be more effective and efficient with battery management. I'm not sure it's an improvement so far. Perfect lap by Oscar Piastri. I mean, Piastri so far has had a flawless, don't want to jinx it, he's had a flawless weekend. Faster than his teammate. Qualified really maximum where I thought that McLaren could qualify. And now look at him, he's out in front in the clean air. P1, Piastri. Russell is catching. He is just 0.7 seconds behind Piastri. This is unexpected pace, though, from the McLaren. None of us were expecting McLaren to be this competitive after what we've seen at the start of the season. Did not. Oh, Russell's just gained an awful lot on Piastri there. He's up. He's 0.3 seconds behind Piastri. He's all over the gearbox now. George Russell definitely looking to put the move on him on the straight. Can he do it? Has he got more boost available? No, he wasn't close enough. 0.3 seconds between them. Oh, George Russell definitely looking the stronger of the two cars, but they are pulling out a nice gap away from the rest of the field. Charles Leclerc now over 2 seconds behind Russell. Russell hunting him down like a wolf hunting its prey. Oh no, I've got a glitch. No, where's my picture? Sky Television. Why are you doing this to me? I'm to reboot my Sky. Get in the chat. Tell me what I'm missing. I do not want to miss the overtake. Come on, Sky Television. You can do this. I agree, Kaori. We need an interactive display of the battery usage. I've been saying this. We need to know how much battery each driver's got. We're back. I've not missed it. Good. Russell right over the gearbox. He's put the move on to Piastri now, going in two. He sticks. It sticks. Russell going into turn 16. Put the move on Piastri. And now Piastri's put Piastri back in front of the Mercedes of George Russell. Wow, and then Lando Norris is all over the gearbox of Leclerc. Trying to have a go at Leclerc, trying to find a way past, but Leclerc shutting the door. So Russell and Piastri, a great battle for P1. Norris putting the moves on Leclerc, trying to force Leclerc wide to get past him for P3. Antonelli in P5 is also in the mix. The racing's getting exciting now. Great moves from Piastri and Russell. Russell got past Piastri, couldn't make it hold. Piastri came back at Russell and has made it hold. Piastri still in P1. Russell P2 now dropped down to 0.9 seconds behind Piastri. Leclerc P3. Leclerc's doing well to hold on to P3. So it's just shown us the move of George Russell passing Piastri. And then Piastri just choosing his moment, saving his battery, doing everything right. Piastri getting his head around battery management in that McLaren. And he chose the right moment to use his overtake mode to pass George Russell with ease, actually. And now Kimi Antonelli. Wow, Antonelli, Norris and Leclerc. Nothing between these three cars. Antonelli putting the moves on Norris, while Norris is trying to put the moves on Leclerc. Oh, Kimi Antonelli not quite close enough to put a passing manoeuvre on Norris, but he's not far off. Kimi Antonelli really he does need to find his groove again. If he can get past Norris, but Leclerc is significantly slower than the McLaren and the Mercedes of Antonelli. And I think both of these drivers trying to find a way past. But it does allow Hamilton to stay. You can see him at the back of shot. He's about 1.5 seconds behind that battle for third place. And if this battle keeps going on the way it's going, it could allow Hamilton to close that gap. Gisette says Piastri's really matured mentally from last season. It's exciting to watch. I do think we're seeing a better Piastri here. Piastri's calm, cool and collected. We saw that at the start of 25. Lost his way a little bit towards the end, well, the midpoint of 25. But he's coming into this season and he's showing a good mentality. He's showing he has a good grasp of these 26 cars. The way he's managing the battery is doing very well, keeping Russell behind him. Lando Norris is holding off Kimi Antonelli, your world champion. Is he driving like a world champion? Well, he's He's holding position. He's not managed to find a way past the slower Ferrari of Charles Leclerc, but he is keeping Kimi Antonelli behind him. I am expecting a move from Kimi, though. Lower down the field, we see Max Verstappen make his way up to P8. Gasly still doing very nicely, running in P7 in the Alpine. Hamilton, really out on his own at the moment, in P6. Not being challenged and not quite challenging either. He's not challenging P5 and he's not being challenged by P7. He's really just having his own race in P6. Maybe he thinks, maybe a little bit of tyre management from Hamilton. Maybe he feels he doesn't need to burn up his tyres this early in the race. Maybe that's what he's thinking. Maybe Hamilton's using his brain. Maybe he feels if he stays out of that battle for P5, for P3 and P4 and P5, like Leclerc, Norris and Antonelli are in, Hamilton can just stay in the clean air, manage those tyres, and then he might have a little bit of something, a little bit coming up later in the Grand Prix. Who knows? He's a thinking man's driver. Gemma says, oh, there's the move. Antonelli put the move on Norris. He's passed. Antonelli up to P4. Now hunting down Charles Leclerc. And there, it's Kimi Antonelli on the charge now. Already half-second gap between him and Norris. Gemma says, did we find out if Tony's favourite wing made it to Ferrari? The Macarena wing, Gemma, has not made it to Ferrari. They are not running the Macarena wing, Gemma. The Macarena wing should, according to Ferrari, make its appearance in Miami. Welcome to Miami. Yeah, that's where we should see it. It's a great race so far, Daryl. Clean racing from everybody. No retirements. No accidents. It's been clean racing from P1 to P22. Hooked on Classics say not too many overtakes. There's been a fair few. But it's not been quite as back and forth as we saw in Shanghai. But there has been some good moves. Look at the Piastri and Russell overtakes have been interesting. Piastri in P1, then Russell taking P1 from Piastri, then Piastri taking it back. And Russell is on the charge now. Again, I think we're going to see Russell try and put a move on Piastri before the end of this lap. There's been plenty of overtakes in the midfield. Lindblad down to P10. After fighting his way up to P8. Verstappen up to P8. Still 4 seconds behind Piastri. Sorry, Piastri. Gasly. 4 seconds behind Gasly. We're on lap 13 of 53. It's been a great start to the Grand Prix. Super clean. Let's see what the chat's saying. Leclerc's in trouble now, said Prodigy. Yeah, Leclerc is getting hunted down like a shark hunts its prey. Antonelli, 0.6 seconds behind Leclerc. Antonelli is making progress. Leclerc now 2.5 seconds behind George Russell, out of the fight for P2. At the moment, Antonelli hunting Leclerc down. I think it's been a fancy. It's not what I expected. Who was it that get in the chat? Who predicted Piastri, a Piastri podium in the chat? Tell me in the chat who predicted a Piastri podium? I had him as a P4. I predicted Piastri P4, but I know some people predicted Piastri podium. Well, we're looking at Piastri right now. I know you're all talking about graining on these medium tyres. Kimi Antonelli's all over the gearbox of Charles Leclerc. Piastri complaining of graining. Respawn level says me. Oh, was it Thane? Gisette said Thane. Was it Thane who predicted Piastri on the podium? Respawn said he did. Air Tank, how would you feel about Mercedes if they were caught cheating on their regulations? Well, I don't like cheating. So I'd be like, strip them of the points. Strip them of the points. Yeah. Mercedes, if they get caught cheating, then they should be punished. That's the game. Respawn says, yeah, he would predict a Piastri podium because you're an Oscar fan. Good time to be an Oscar fan. Oh, wow, Lawson. You're right. Someone just mentioned Lawson. Jeremy's mentioned Lawson down P22. What has happened to Lawson? Lawson down to P22. What has happened? Piastri still holding P1. Russell, a second behind Piastri now. Antonelli he was looking for a way round Leclerc there. Antonelli is right on Leclerc's gearbox. Leclerc doing what Leclerc does. He knows where to put that Ferrari to make it as wide as possible, to make it difficult for Antonelli to get past. But the Mercedes look like they're in a different league when it comes to power compared to the Ferrari. It's going to be a difficult job for Leclerc to keep Antonelli behind him. But Antonelli has a disappointing start to this Grand Prix. Qualifying pole, slipping down to P6, trying to make his way back up through the pack. He's currently P4 on the gearbox of Leclerc. Is this going to be the moment where he looks for a gap? Yeah, Antonelli's all over the gearbox of Leclerc. Expect to move in coming on lap 15 of 53. I would expect Antonelli to wait to the main straight. But then obviously Leclerc will have considered Antonelli's attack and will be saving his battery. Antonelli's put the move on Leclerc. He's passed. He is passed. Made it look easy. Made it look easy. Oh! He had a snap. Wow, Antonelli had a big snap. And Leclerc on the main straight, coming back past Antonelli. He's no fool, Charles Leclerc. He is understanding just how to use the deployment of the energy system. Right time, right move. Leclerc passes, retakes the position from Kimi Antonelli, allowing Lando Norris to catch up to Antonelli, to maybe put a challenge back on him. Piastri Radio, Oscar, thoughts on going this early to be sure to defend against Russell? If we think the tyres can go to the end, then why not? Piastri looking to make an early pit stop to put the hards on. We know the tyre degradation is at a minimal this year with the tyres, with the lighter cars, the lower downforce. Piastri considering coming in for the hard tyre to go to the end of the race, to defend against Russell. The earlier pit stop, getting fresh rubber on. They're in the window, the medium tyre window, lap 15 to lap 21. If you're pitting around now, you can put the hards on and get to the end of the Grand Prix. Are McLaren going to bring Piastri in early to get him on the hard tyre to defend against the challenge from Russell? Good night, says Rain, Rain, Rain. We're not going to see any rain. Or is that your rain dance? Lewis is going to need a bit of rain, I think, to catch up. He's only actually Lewis has closed the gap. Lewis, he's been really running his own race at the moment. Norris has decided to take the early pit stop. Wise move for Norris. Get out on the fresh rubber early. Going for the undercut. It's a good strategy for Norris. Get him out on the hard tyre. He can go at the end. Oscar staying out. Norris rejoining just ahead of Arvid Lindblad. Rejoining P9. Norris first to move onto the hard tyre. I think that's a good choice for Norris. I do think that was a. I think get on the new rubber now. You're in the window, guys. I think Piastri should do the same thing to defend against the charge from Russell. He's only because, well, then again, Piastri does have a 1.9 second gap between him and Russell. Piastri doing very well indeed. Maybe Russell should be looking to come in and get on the new rubber. You see, Russell is great. Yeah, look, Russell's gaining ground now. 1.6 seconds from him and Piastri. If you're listening, McLaren, bring Piastri in now. Now's the time. Get him in on the hards. Yes, that's the right move for Ferrari. Leclerc, it's the right move. He's in the pits. They have to bring him in to fend off the challenge from Norris. Norris got to pit a lap earlier. Leclerc in for the hard tyre. It's the right move for Ferrari. Getting the pit stop strategy right for once. Leclerc in. He's out. Has he made it out in front of Norris? Yes, he has. It's a good pit stop. It's the right pit stop. Leclerc back out. Track position in front of Norris. It's exactly what he needed to do to fend off the attack from Norris on the fresh rubber. Well done, Ferrari. Well done, Ferrari, for getting your pit stop right today. Yeah, Chiori. So Lewis Hamilton knows how to manage those tyres. Exactly. He may be able to get a little bit of a push, some push laps going on before he comes in to change rubber. And actually, if Hamilton can make these mediums last and decides to stay out and he's protected his tyres, we could see a different strategy for Hamilton. Well, no, they're still going to go on the hards, but they should be, but they'll have fresher rubber. Gasly running P5 at the moment. So Leclerc, right move, kept track position in front of Norris. Antonelli still needs to pit. Piastri, well, good move from McLaren. Just as I said, time to bring him in. Do not wait. And he has to come out, obviously, in front of Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc. I'm sure he will. Quick pit stop from Piastri. That's what's needed. No tyre gun issues. He's away. Piastri's away on the hard tyre. He should have lots of clean air between him and Leclerc. And he has. Good pit stop. Piastri retaining track position. Of course. Now, what can George Russell do? Can he's got clean air out of the front. Can he push for the next couple of laps to try and close that gap down before his pit stop? But you know, it's going to be difficult because you've got Piastri out on fresh rubber. If I'm Russell right now, I'm probably coming in, change that rubber, get in on the hards as soon as possible. Because Piastri could capitalise on that 2-second gap that he had when he came into the pits. Exciting race so far. We should expect more racing to come. Piastri running a good race. McLaren getting it right. We have not seen that for a long time. Yeah, 2.1 second stop. Respawn says, here comes Mercedes Civil War. Exactly. Can Antonelli catch George Russell? Antonelli's 2.5 seconds behind George Russell. Can he close that gap? Both Mercedes on old rubber. These medium tyres have done 20 laps. Who's going to move first? Can Kimi Antonelli close that current gap of 2.5 seconds to George Russell? It'll be exciting to see if he can. Surely Lewis Hamilton's going to take a pit stop. They're going to bring him in. Thane says McLaren's carnival mode is taking party mode to school. Exactly. McLaren have been the surprise of the weekend for me. Absolute surprise of the weekend. Yeah, Kiori. So far, Ferrari's strategy looks solid. Hamilton could... I think Hamilton needs to come in on the next lap, though. I don't think keeping him out is the best option. Although Hamilton is only 4 seconds now behind Antonelli. Gaining time. Maybe Hamilton just running his own race, managing those tyres. Oh, Piastri trying to get past Verstappen, even though Verstappen is yet to pit. He does have track position. Verstappen P5, he's got every right to defend that position, even though Piastri will get past Verstappen at the end of the main straight. Yes, he has. Piastri up to P5. Obviously, Verstappen yet to pit. So will Verstappen do Piastri a favour and cause an issue for Leclerc and slow Leclerc down? It's possible. Lap 21 of 53. If you are watching for the first time, do smash a like on the video if you're watching right now. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, what are you doing? Hit the subscribe button, get involved, and then get in the chat and tell us where you are watching from. Big thumbs up if you're enjoying the Grand Prix, though, just like we are. But get in the chat, say hello. It is time. Jensen Button agreeing with me. It's time for one of the Mercedes to pit. But which one? Who would you bring in? I'd bring in George Russell. He's leading the race. Get him on fresh rubber. That's the right move. And it is George Russell. Russell coming into pit. The hards will be going on. Antonelli, you got clean air, son. What can you do? Can you take some of that gap down, which was 2.5 seconds? Can you gain a bit of time with a push lap now before you come in and get your pit stop? Maybe you can. Hamilton running P2. Yet to pit. Surprised that Hamilton did not pit this lap. Hamilton really must have protected these tyres. He is now running quite nicely still. Yellow flag. The Haas. Ollie Behrman. He has put it in the wall. Car number 87, Ollie Behrman, has put the Haas in the wall. We are under yellow flag conditions. Safety car. Free pit stop for Hamilton. Don't mess this up, Ferrari. Safety car conditions. Cheap pit stop for Hamilton. Of course it should be. Coming in from P2. He gets a cheap pit stop. Ferrari, bring him in. Bring him in. Bring him in right now. Do not F this up. And it's great news for anyone who hasn't pitted now. Hasn't pitted yet. Cheap pit stop for Hamilton. Cheap pit stop for Gasly. Antonelli gets a cheap pit stop. Because his teammate, George Russell's already pitted. Which means Antonelli gets a pit stop. For cheap. Great news for Antonelli. Great news for Hamilton. Incredible news for Hamilton and Antonelli. Box, box, box. Antonelli in the pits under the safety car. Obviously, Ferrari are going to bring Hamilton in as well. This is unbelievable news for the guys who didn't take their first pit stop. Kimi Antonelli getting the look of the F1 gods again. And Ferrari, of course, they brought Hamilton in for his cheap pit stop. And he's out. Perfect timing for Hamilton. Go, go, go. Unbelievable scenes. Exactly. Bad luck for George Russell yet again. Verstappen also gets a cheap pit stop. He hadn't pitted yet either. Gasly benefiting from his cheap pit stop. Great news for those guys. Ollie Bearman may have an injury to his ankle. I haven't seen the incident. I don't know actually what happened. I just see the ass in the wall. I do not know what happened. They have not shown us the accident on my screen yet, or I've missed it. Bearman does look a little bit shaken up. It looks like looks to me like he's holding his ankle, like an ankle injury. That's not good news. Oh, here we go. Ollie Bearman, car 87. He's catching very quickly on the Alpine. He was just, the closing speed must have been 60, 70 kilometers an hour. And trying to avoid the back of the Alpine, he swerved out. Turn 13. Wow! Overcooked it in a major way, Ollie Bearman. Yeah, he was, I don't know what the problem was there, but it was quite a big hit there from Ollie Bearman. Limping off. Oof. So Hamilton, fresh rubber rejoins. Ah, Antonelli, fresh rubber rejoins. Unbelievable. Look at that under safety car conditions. Your Antonelli with fresh rubber P1, Piastri P2, George Russell down to P3. Hamilton benefits up to P4 with fresh rubber ahead of his teammate Leclerc in P5. Norris down to P6. Oh, the Formula One gods shining their light onto Antonelli and Lewis Hamilton today. No more pit stops needed, Prodigy. That's it. They are on the hard tyre till the end of the race. Hamilton with track position over Leclerc. Yeah, Lita, hard tyres till the end now. Lap 24 of 53. Yeah, they're going all the way to the end. Yeah, good night, says Toto. So happy Kimmy's in first. This is Prodigy, isn't it? Chef says science predicted this. A car harvesting and a car deploying creates exactly this. Yeah, it creates incredible closing speeds. And that's what happened. You saw, I think it was Colapinto, lifting and coasting into turn 13. Ollie Bearman on a push. Just the closing speed between him and the Alpine it must have been 60, 70 kilometers per hour. He swerves out to try and avoid Colapinto T-boning him. And there you go. The Haas ends up in the wall. Ollie Bearman ends up limping off. Although his pit wall should have been telling Bearman how fast he's closing in on Colapinto. That is part of the, the back and forth between your team. Who's in front of me, who's behind me. He should have been getting those details from his race engineer. Gisette says, luckily Bearman isn't badly hurt. I mean, he is limping, Gisette. It looks like an ankle issue. I mean, we don't know how bad it is, but under safety car conditions still while they move that Haas off the track. Kimi Antonelli's got to be the happiest guy in the world after really messing up his start, dropping down to P6. Having to claw his way back to P2. George Russell then takes the early pit stop option in Mercedes and then gets a safety car. And Antonelli now back in front in P1 on fresh rubber. Piastri P2. Russell, who took the earlier pit stop, now down to P3. Hamilton jumps Leclerc on fresh rubber now, P4. Norris down to P6. Gasly still running P7. Good race for Gasly, staying out of trouble. Still holding position. Excellent. Again, most underrated driver in Formula One is Pierre Gasly. Doing an astounding job. Excuse me, I'll be back in 1 second. I just need to turn my heater off. I'm getting too hot and excited in the studio. It's getting seriously warm in here. That's better. That is better. I'm getting so excited. Temperature's going up. Lita says Toto doesn't love George anymore. Kimi is the golden child. It's some kind of F1 Cinderella. Yeah, true. Yeah, Kiori says, I doubt they could relay the info that quickly. I mean, that is crazy. Ayu Komatsu saying it's about the closing speeds. As we were saying, the closing speeds were phenomenal at that point. Safety car conditions still. Lap 25. Still trying to clear up the mess from the Haas. Getting that Haas off the track. Ollie Behrman's gone to the medical centre to get checked out. Fingers crossed he will have no serious injuries, breakages or fractures. And it's, you know, just a bad bruise or something. Hamilton closing in on Russell. Well, they're under safety car conditions right now, Prodigy. So Hamilton will have an advantage here. The smaller turbo of Hamilton could be an advantage when the safety car pulls away, and Hamilton will be in a position, he'll be close enough to attack George Russell. We could see Hamilton and Leclerc really put the attack on George Russell. They're going to be close enough. This is a great opportunity for Ferrari, a great opportunity for Hamilton on the restart. Yeah, Dave, the safety car did screw Piastri and Leclerc and Russell. David Tringle say, F1 take note, closing speed issue has caused a driver to be injured. Get rid of these dangerous batteries. I think there's going to be, it's definitely going to become a talking point. It's gonna feed into the you know, get rid of the hybrid, get rid of the battery camp for sure. But yeah, it's been it's such bad luck for George Russell, Piastri, and Leclerc, who didn't get to benefit from a pit stop under safety car conditions. When is the safety car ending? Nobody knows. As soon as we've cleared up the track, I would say in the next couple of laps, though. Obviously trying to sweep up the track. Hey, Amon. Yes, you're super late. You've missed a lot of action, Amon. What's that message from George Russell? George Russell on the team radio said, can you confirm Kimi is going to go into the place as we trained? As if, can you confirm that Kimi's going to do something that he's expecting? You're rating Kimi Antonelli. George Russell asking the team if a predetermined situation with Kimi Antonelli is going to happen. What's that about? No, absolutely not, George Russell. What are you talking about? You're racing Kimi Antonelli. Kimi Antonelli, if you've got us on in your AirPods as you're driving around the track, say, but piss off to George Russell. Matt, George Russell, is Kimi Antonelli going to do as we trained? What? Race him. Safety car's ending. George Russell down in P3. I think George Russell's upset that Kimi Antonelli's benefited from the safety car. Tough. It's a racing incident. You're not gonna switch positions because of that. What is this? McLaren 2025? Papaya rules? No, definitely not. Come on, George. Beat him on track. If you can. You got to beat him. And Kimi Antonelli's got the clean air at the front. And if he does, you know, pull away, then you go catch him, George. And if Kimi Antonelli wins another Grand Prix because the F1 gods gave him a safety car, that's how F1 goes, bro. That's how it goes, George. Put your big boy pants on and start racing. Safety car's ending. Kimi Antonelli, P1. Piastri, P2. Russell, P3. Hamilton, P4. You don't hear Leclerc saying to Ferrari, oh, Hamilton, he benefited from the safety car. He's now in front of me. Is he going to let me past? No, they're racing. Come on, George. Crazy. Come on, Antonelli. I predicted him P1 for this race as well. He was my pick for the win. Okay, safety car ending. Kimi Antonelli bunching them up. He's doing the right thing. He's warming his eyes. He's bunching them right up. Bunching up the pack. Wants to create problems for Piastri, Norris, Leclerc and Russell. Now pulling away. Antonelli already 1 second gap. And the Ferrari, of course, of Hamilton. Hamilton up to P3. He passes George Russell. George Russell's going to be furious right now. Dropping down from P1 to P4. All because he pitted too early. Hamilton up to P3. Great move from Hamilton. He was ready to go. Yeah, drop tuned. I'm not going to jinx him. But Hamilton up to P3. It's a great move on George Russell. Can Leclerc catch George Russell as well? I'd love to see it. I did tell you, let the restart after the safety car. Look out for what Ferrari are going to do. They're going to be on it. And Hamilton taking that spot away from George Russell. Hamilton with his cut price pit stop under the safety car. Managed to get out in P3. I mean, what a turnaround. P6 to P3 for Hamilton. Antonelli P2 to P1. Safety car coming at just the right time for those guys. Leclerc down to P5. Can Piastri catch Antonelli for lead? I mean, Antonelli's car he's got the clean air. I think, Antonelli's already pulled out a 1.4 second gap. Antonelli's got clean air to the end here. Quite potentially. No more pit stops needed. Antonelli. Russell's dropped. 2.5 seconds down from Antonelli already. 2.7 seconds down. Hamilton pushing this tyre very hard. He is he's really catching it on the snaps, and he's pushing Piastri. George Russell trying to create some slides. Piastri's literally like a rally driver sliding the McLaren out to the track limit. All drivers pushing right now. Piastri, Hamilton, Russell. We're going to see some overtaking here for sure. But Antonelli taking full advantage of Piastri, Hamilton and Russell. Really pushing. Antonelli in clean air. He's pulled out a 1.7 second gap already. Kimi Antonelli, the big beneficiary of this safety car situation. Fernando was done dirty. Yeah, that is a danger for George Russell. Kimi in clean air. Kimi in clean air is going to pull away. The situation's just unfolded perfectly for Kimi Antonelli. Just needs to keep it on the tarmac, keep his head. Hamilton again. Hamilton's got can he catch Piastri? Can Hamilton catch Piastri? He's under a second between them. 0.6. If Hamilton can stay within overtake mode, there's a chance. Hamilton is keeping Piastri within striking distance. Incredible scenes. Look how it can turn around just from one racing incident like a safety car. Oh, Piastri then, I saw a little lockup. That's an opportunity for Hamilton to take another gouge out of that gap between them. Hamilton 6/10 behind Piastri. Russell 8/10 behind Hamilton. Lots and lots of racing still to come. 23 laps left of this Japanese Grand Prix. Lots of racing still to happen. Piastri, Hamilton and Russell. Nothing between them really. Anything can happen between these guys. Leclerc down in P5. Just trying to stay in touch. So Hamilton complaining the car ahead keeps going off, turns 9 and 14. He's talking about exceeding track limits. He is saying that Piastri is exceeding track limits. The stewards will look into it. Is Piastri exceeding track limits? I don't know. We'll have to see. But I do know one thing. Piastri is pushing that McLaren to the ragged edge. I see it stepping out. I see him catching it. I see him going right up to the edge of the track limits. Piastri is pushing. Gisette says too early. Kimi will then have to learn how to handle the heat of the pressure that comes with the expectation. David Tringle says Kimi clean air, building a gap, winning the race. He's our new stud and a lucky one at that. Well, Kimi, listen, you got to play the hand you're given. That's the whole point, right? That's the same in life. Sometimes you get, the luck goes for you, but how you play your hand is key. Kimi Antonelli's had a bit of luck here, playing his hand very well. Pulled out a 3-second gap between him and Piastri. 22 laps left, and all you've got is George Russell sat in his cockpit, probably absolutely furious with how his Grand Prix is played out. It's the way it goes, George. How you handle these setbacks is the makings of a champion. When you get a bit of luck, do you play and optimize your situation? If it goes against you, do you optimize your situation? That's all you can do. It's how you play every game. Antonelli optimising his situation right now. 3-second gap. But George Russell is in a fight. He's in a fight with Hamilton. He's in a fight with Leclerc. Slowing him down. Keeping him trapped. Gisette, thank you so much for your super chat. Yeah, Bono. Pete Bonington's going to be absolutely buzzing at the moment with the way Kimi Antonelli is performing in this Grand Prix and in general. Yeah, Pacific Dark, welcome to the chat. I see you in there, buddy. I'm an F1 rookie. Why is Stroll in a car? Well, even an F1 rookie asked that question. But listen, I'm going to be very quick on Lance Stroll. Lance Stroll is actually a quick driver. He's not as bad as everyone says. He's quick. Problem he's got is the Aston Martin is absolutely awful at the minute. Honda power unit, bad. Chassis, bad. Problems, lots of them. Let's see what they can do to turn the fortunes around of the AMR 26, and then let's wait to see. Let's judge Lance Stroll when he's got a car that he can actually race with. Oh no, I've got Sky problems again. And plus the fact that Lance Stroll's dad does own Aston Martin. Papa Stroll, baby. That also helps. Yeah, good win. Stroll just needs rain. Stroll is very good in the wet. And the Game Cat says being called Stroll doesn't exactly suggest fast. That's true. He is quick though. He's quick over a lap. Everyone slates him, but he's definitely quicker than you think. Yeah, I've got pictures back. So, do me a quick favour. Lots of you watching right now. If you're brand new to F1 Grandstand, do smash a like on the stream. It makes a big difference. And I'm super, super grateful if you do. And also, get in the chat. Say hello. Tell us where you're watching from. All you need to do is subscribe to the channel. And that opens up the chat for you. You can get in the live chat, say hello, and join in, just like Pacific Dark has just done. And Ear Tank. And loads of our new subscribers. Get in the chat. Say hello. Join the community. Do it now. Gasly Chef is absolutely having a decent race. Gasly again maximizing the performance of the Alpine. It's all you can ask for. Pierre Gasly, an underrated driver. He's a good, I'd say borderline great driver. He's a good driver, Gasly, doing his job and doing it well, maximizing with what he's got underneath him. Goes under the radar, just gets through to Q3, qualifies P7, stays P7. You know, keeps Max Verstappen behind him, looks after his tyres, doesn't get involved in any incidents. Gasly doing a good job, consistently scoring points in every Grand Prix so far this season in the Alpine. And when you compare him to his teammate Colapinto, well, Colapinto needs to step up his game, just like he did need to last year. And he was doing it, actually, but to be fair, Colapinto, he had a good, looking good in Shanghai, but unfortunately Esteban Ocon did prevent him scoring better points. Yes! Dianjang Mi, is that right? Diangang Mai, I hope I said it right. Watching from Dubai, welcome to the chat. Avnids, I'm also new to F1. All I know is Max, Leclerc, Lewis and Kimi. Well, you know some of the top guys there, my friend. You will learn plenty with people in this chat, I promise you. You will learn a lot. Ask away. The community's all there to help each other out. Arvid, also watching from Dubai. Dynamic Automotive. Hi, all the way from Zambia. Yeah, Dynamic. Welcome to the chat, my friend. Lewis, go 44. Exactly. And so Lewis Hamilton running in P3 right now. Really keeping George Russell at bay. George Russell 0.7 seconds behind him. Hamilton within a second of Piastri. A lot can still happen here. But Hamilton currently running P3. Russell P4. Leclerc P5. Norris down in P6. Norris 2.4 seconds behind Leclerc right now. Leclerc within a second of Russell. Russell just in a Ferrari sandwich. Oh. Gemma says, keeping him honest. Who's keeping who honest? I've what for miss, Gemma. I don't want to miss your super chat. Knew we need to sort out that engine. It's painful to watch them tank this badly. Global baby. Who we took? Lewis goes from. What, Gemma? I don't know what you're on about. You're too slow. But thank you. Who's keeping who honest? Antonelli out in front. P1. Piastri P2. Hamilton P3. Russell P4. Leclerc P5. Slower than Stroll Tony. Hey, it's a lot to manage in this driving seat on F1 Grandstand. Let me tell you. We've got graphics. We've got things happening. We've got a Grand Prix going on and the chat. And also top class, world class commentary, Gemma. There's a lot going on. I'm managing a lot from this cockpit. Leclerc needs to pick it up. True. Look, Leclerc 0.8 seconds behind Russell. But interestingly, Hamilton holding position with Piastri. We're under a second between him and Piastri. And tyre management could come into this. Who's going to have the better tyres the last few laps of the Grand Prix? If you stay within a second, there could be an opportunity for Hamilton to pass Piastri. The real threat is the Mercedes. And there is that threat. Hamilton, brilliant defend from the attack of George Russell there. Brilliant defend from Hamilton, making that Ferrari super wide, blocking the attack from George Russell. Leclerc needs to stay on Russell's gearbox, really. But I think it's going to be a challenge for Lewis Hamilton to keep George Russell behind him for the next 17 laps. Lap 36 of 53. Expect more drama. Plenty of drama still to come in this Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton running P3. He will not want to give up his podium position. He will fight with George Russell, that's for sure. Leclerc, can he do Hamilton a favour and catch Russell and get Russell embroiled in a fight with Leclerc? Drop tune, super entertaining. TC, watching the Sky feed, listening to your show. I hope so. That's what we want. We want this to be a companion to the pictures that you're watching on Sky Sports or ESPN or whatever your provider is. Jeremy says, Gasly better than Norris. I would say Gasly and Norris are probably, if I had to put people at tiers, I'd put Gasly and Norris very similar. I would say Gasly and Norris. Oh, Mercedes of George Russell. Again, trying to attack Hamilton. Hamilton knows where to just... The experience of Hamilton showing yet again. He knows where to put that Ferrari to make it very difficult for the quicker Mercedes to get past. Hamilton holding P3 under a lot of challenges from George Russell, keeping him just 0.5 seconds behind him. Leclerc, 1 second behind George Russell, but he is all over the gearbox of Hamilton. This is a good drive for Hamilton, strategically doing exceptionally well to keep the faster Mercedes at bay. Truthfully, you don't appreciate what a good drive this is from Hamilton. In the slower Ferrari, keeping Russell behind him. Again, position the Ferrari in the right place on the track, making it as wide as possible. Leclerc is past Russell. What has happened? Russell, using his battery, messing up his deployment, has created an opportunity for Leclerc, the other Ferrari, to get past Russell. This is great news for Hamilton. He now has protection to his P3. Leclerc's not going to be happy though. Leclerc is he's not just going to let Hamilton have P3. Leclerc's going to try and hunt down Lewis Hamilton. But Leclerc under attack from the Mercedes. But Leclerc is no dunce, is he? He knows where to put the Ferrari to block the attack of Mercedes. George Russell having a terrible time in the Mercedes right now. You can imagine what's going through his head. My teammate's pulling out a huge gap of over, what? He's probably 8 seconds. No, 7 seconds ahead of Russell right now. Antonelli in the clean air, putting in the fastest laps. Antonelli, wow, out in front. It's looking like Antonelli's doing everything right to secure his next Grand Prix victory. George Russell slipping down the race order. George Russell dealing with the mental game. Can he cope with it? That is the question. Can George Russell cope with it? The Ferrari's past him. Hamilton, podium position currently. P3. Leclerc, P4. Leclerc on Hamilton's gearbox. What will be the team orders at Ferrari, if any? Lap 38 of 53. Will Leclerc be allowed to challenge Hamilton for that podium position? Fred Vasseur says, let them race. It could be a situation where the Ferraris are racing for the podium, just like we saw in Shanghai. This is going to get exciting. Piastri, not too far ahead either. It's not over yet. It is not over yet. 14 exciting laps to go. And look, Russell still on the gearbox now of Leclerc. This is the factor. The Leclerc-Russell fight is only playing into Hamilton's favour, actually. If Leclerc and Russell keep fighting each other, this will mean that Hamilton hopefully can maintain his position without too much of a threat. These two guys, Leclerc and Russell, should slow each other down in that fight. All good news for Hamilton. Yes, Antoine, Antonelli is in a class. Is all class and still learning. Exactly, Antonelli is still a learner driver. The L plates should still be on. Only completed one rookie season in F1, but showing everyone that when he gets the opportunity, when the F1 gods favour him and deal him a good hand, he knows what to do with it. He's pulled out a 7.5 second gap to Piastri. We cannot take this away from Antonelli. Yes, he was fortunate with the safety car, but he's played his hand perfectly. George Russell, however, slipping down to P5 behind the Ferraris. Gemma said Fred made a great call last year with the 26 car. He definitely did. I know what you're talking about, Gemma. The fact that Fred risked the 25 season, all of the bad press, the fallouts, the John Elkins saying the drivers should shut up and drive, all of that stuff was because Fred made the decision, we're not developing the 25 car, we're going all in on the 26 car. And the Ferrari has improved. Is it a championship winning car? No, not yet. Can it be? I believe it can. Hamilton, P3, Leclerc, P4, Russell, P5. Russell trying to get closer to Charles Leclerc. It's so tight between these three drivers. Leclerc is obviously within overtake mode. Leclerc just half a second behind Hamilton. Russell half a second behind Leclerc. Hamilton 1.5 seconds behind Piastri. A lot can change here. These three drivers, Hamilton, Leclerc, Russell, all really fighting it out for a podium. Antonelli, he's just off into the sunset. 8-second gap now between Antonelli and Piastri. I don't want to jinx him, but Antonelli was my pick for P1 for this race in Japan. So, Kiori says, I need Lewis to get closer to Oscar Piastri. Yeah, but here's one. Oh! Leclerc does pass the move, put a move on Hamilton. No, he didn't. He defended. Sorry, I got it wrong. Hamilton with a brilliant defend of Lewis. Leclerc trying to put the move on Hamilton. I don't know what team, I don't know what is going on in the Ferrari garage, but these Ferraris are racing. Leclerc trying to put a move on Hamilton. Hamilton shutting the door aggressively on Leclerc. Leclerc now, he is gunning for the podium. He wants a podium. He's not happy to let Hamilton take it. Fred said let them race, and racing is exactly what these two Ferraris are doing. Racing for the podium, racing for P3. It's now George Russell putting a move on Leclerc, but Leclerc closes the door on Russell. These three cars, anything can happen for between P3, P4 and P5. It is exciting racing for the last 13 laps of this Grand Prix. Anything could happen. The Ferraris racing each other. It's fantastic. Fred said let them race, and that's what these Ferrari boys are doing. So Charles Leclerc has found a way with his battery deployment during the recent laps where he really is catching Hamilton. And got to remember, Leclerc came in for a pit stop for the hards earlier than Hamilton. Oh, Leclerc trying to take the outside, but Hamilton closes the door again. This is clean racing from the Ferraris. Wow. A little snap for Leclerc there, coming onto the main straight. He's using his boost. He's trying to put the move on Hamilton. Down the main straight. Charles Leclerc wheel to wheel. Hamilton holding the inside line. Leclerc makes it stick. Leclerc in front of Hamilton. It's a great move from Leclerc to move up to P3. What can Hamilton do? What's he got in response? Brilliant racing from the Ferraris. Absolutely brilliant. Clean, close, aggressive. Leclerc up to P3. But it's great racing from the boys. We saw it in Shanghai. Ferrari said let them race. Fred said let them race. But now Leclerc is under attack from... Sorry, Hamilton is now under attack from George Russell. Wow. Fred Vasseur, we have to give him credit here, letting the Ferrari drivers race. I don't think Leclerc can catch Piastri. I don't think we've seen the end of the battle between Hamilton and Leclerc either. And George Russell all over the gearbox of Hamilton. Has Hamilton got graining on his tyres? Is there an issue? I've not seen anything on the team radio. But Hamilton. So Hamilton has overtaken. Oh! George Russell. He's made it stick. George Russell's gone past Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton, is he going to try and switch? No. George Russell up to P4. Hamilton down to P5 now. The Mercedes looked like it had so much more power than the Ferrari there. So, interesting. George Russell found it easier to get past Hamilton. Could not find his way past Leclerc. But then again, George Russell, when he was P4 and Hamilton was in P3, Hamilton masterclass of keeping George Russell behind him. I wonder whether Hamilton does have some graining on those tyres. Slipping down now from P3 to P5 for Hamilton, but Ferrari still P3 with Charles Leclerc. 1.2 seconds behind him is George Russell. Are we going to see Russell on the gearbox of Leclerc? I think we will. 10 laps to go of this Grand Prix. Air Tank says, this is what I love about Formula One and sports in general. It brings us all together from all over the world. Yes, I agree. Air Tank, I love it. I love the fact. Let us know where you're watching from. Right now, if you only just joined F1 Grandstand community, we are global. Global community. Tell us where you're watching from. The best F1 community on the planet. Get in there, say hello. All you got to do, by the way, if you subscribe to the channel, it means you can get in the chat and you can say hello, the live chat. Do it right now. Subscribe. Make sure you've got the bell all icon ticked as well, so you never miss any of our content. And if you are watching the stream right now, smash a like on the video. We're trying to get to, you know, our next big goal is 15,000 subscribers. So smash a like on the video. Help us get there. Subscribe to the channel. Support what we're doing, and we'll always support you. Yeah, David, it's like we're all together in the living room watching it. Exactly. It's like watching it with friends. It's what we want. Lewis now 1.3 seconds behind Russell. It makes me think that maybe Hamilton cooked his tyres trying to defend from George Russell. It could be the issue. Yes, Shokri, Melbourne. Good to have you with us. I see you in the chat. Welcome to F1 Grandstands community. You're very welcome here, buddy. Yes, Billy B, Philadelphia, US of A. Love it. Welcome to the chat. Great to have you with us. Lewis, can he find some extra pace? I think Lewis has cooked his tyres. I do. I think in trying to defend from George Russell, and he did for many laps, held his position against a faster Mercedes. Some great driving, actually. I think he's cooked his tyres. That's why I think Hamilton's struggling right now. And now Leclerc and Russell are benefiting from better rubber. Hamilton's now got Norris on his gearbox. Yeah, Hamilton, it's definitely, I'm sure if I am a betting man, which I am, I would say Hamilton's cooked his tyres. And now Norris is on his gearbox. He'll do well to hold Norris behind him. Can he hold Norris off? Yeah, Kiori says Charles wasn't interested in keeping Russell behind both of them. That's true. That is true. He wasn't playing. Yeah, Charles. Ooh. Yeah, his tyres are going off. Verstappen, he's been behind. Okay, I saw that chat. So Pacific Delta says Verstappen is going to take P7. I don't know. Maybe Gasly's done a great job. He's been running P7 the entire Grand Prix, and Verstappen has found it. He's just been able to keep the delta gap between him and Verstappen. Verstappen's not been able to take Gasly. Can he do it before the end of the Grand Prix? No. But look at Liam Lawson up into the points. Arvid Lindblad, who started P10, down to P14. Oh, Sky, I've lost it. I've lost my pictures. Yeah, Billy B. Exactly. Lewis Hamilton. What I love about Lewis Hamilton is he races. If he's in a fight, he fights. And yeah, But he'll gamble, later the tyres, for later in the race. If he's in a fight, he's gonna fight. And he did such a good job keeping the Mercedes of George Russell behind him for all those laps. And again, and because of that fight, Charles Leclerc benefits, just stalking his prey, sitting there out of trouble, putting the laps in, saving his tyres. And when the time is right, he started pushing. He pushed past. He saw the opportunity to get past the Mercedes because George Russell looked like he had some sort of deployment issue. And then he saw the opportunity to get past Lewis Hamilton because maybe he saw Lewis Hamilton's tyres were cooked. Leclerc playing a very sensible drive, actually. He wasn't worried, running in P5, picked his spot, picked his moment. And that's a part, I think, of the new 26 regulations. Leclerc probably very sensible, watching the fighting going on in front, saving his tyres. Piastri, though, still doing a solid job. Who would have thought McLaren could have got a podium this weekend? I didn't think I'd see Piastri up in the top 3. I said I thought he'd finish P4. Interesting, if it stays how it is, the top 5 how it is was my top 5. Oh no, I didn't have George Russell, actually. I said George Russell wouldn't be in the top 5. I said he was going to DNF. Yes, it has been a decent race, this one. So the only 2 DNFs, Stroll and Behrman so far. Alonso out there, P19, trying to get some valuable data. That's all he's doing. He's trying to get a race run in. Can he actually complete 53 laps in that Aston Martin with the vibration issues they've had? Can he actually finish the race, get a full race run in? It looks like he might be able to. Just 6 laps left now. Antonelli pulled out a 13.3 second lead. Antonelli, all the plaudits should go to him. Leclerc, looking good for a podium if he can just hold off George Russell for another 6 laps. I think he can. Lita, for the love of Toto, George is going to get that podium. He's trying. He's fighting for it. George Russell will be absolutely fuming right now with the way his race has turned out. Antonelli looking good for 25 points. But, oh, Norris all over the gearbox. Oh, Norris has got past Hamilton. Hamilton down to P6. Norris up to P5. George Russell P4. He's trying to attack Leclerc, but Leclerc shutting the door. Hamilton retaking the position. There's an investigation for Hamilton. Turn 16, leaving the track and gaining an advantage. We'll have to see what the rule is of that. Hamilton could get a penalty here. He could get a penalty here, Hamilton. I want to see the incident. So Lando Norris up behind Hamilton. Hamilton. Norris goes past Hamilton quite easy. And then Hamilton retook the position. Norris there using too much boost, I think, which meant that Hamilton could attack Norris and get past him and retake the position. The real question is, can George Russell and Leclerc's doing a fantastic job keeping George Russell behind him. Fantastic job. Antonelli still out, P1. Piastri, P2. I mean, Antonelli just needs to bring it home now. 5 laps to go. If you're Kimi Antonelli, you need to chill now, brother. You need to relax. Just bring it home, mate. No silly lockups like you did in Shanghai on the penultimate lap. Just relax yourself, Kimi. Bring it home, baby. 13 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. Piastri again. Great weekend for Piastri so far. Leclerc 1.6 seconds behind Piastri. Look, the real fight is Leclerc and Russell. This is the fight. The fight for the final spot on the podium. If you've enjoyed the Grand Prix and you've liked it as much as I have, do put a big smash that thumbs up button on the stream. And if you're watching right now, if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, what are you waiting for? Get subscribed to F1 Grandstand. Join the community. We're all here for you. Do it right now before you forget. It's not just watch-alongs. Obviously, we're a fan channel, but we react to the news daily. Live news streams every night. Breaking news videos. Race watch-alongs. Race reactions. Everything you can want. Do get involved and join the community. You are very, very welcome here. Antonelli played a blinder today. 4 laps to go now. Can Leclerc hold off Russell for last 4 laps? Russell trying to find a way past Leclerc again. But Leclerc just driving very nicely as well at the moment. Holding Russell behind him. It's a great job. CJ, just like I said, Lewis does well. And then all of a sudden his car goes off. It's punishment for finishing ahead of the Ferrari's golden. But I don't know. I think in this case, from watching the Grand Prix, if you've all been watching the racing, you would have seen the brilliant job Hamilton was doing, keeping George Russell behind him. And I think he just cooked the tyres. It happens. And Charles Leclerc sat in P5 just watching this play out. And then he picked his moment. Leclerc picked his moment. I have to say, I don't think there's any conspiracy against Lewis Hamilton. I just think he had to cook his tyres, keeping George Russell behind him. And then Charles Leclerc benefits from running in P5. I think it's just that. Hamilton has been running a great race. And he's back in front of Norris now, P5. That's all I think it is. And I think if Hamilton hadn't cooked his tyres, I think George Russell would have got past him and possibly had some clean air. So the fact that Hamilton drove like that... Oh! George Russell! He's gone past Charles Leclerc. He's put the move on him. He's found P3. And Norris has got past Hamilton. The Ferrari's slipping down the order now. Can Charles Leclerc find a response? He saved his battery. He's round the outside. What a move from Charles Leclerc. Round the outside of George Russell. What a move. Back in on the podium. Back into P3. Wow. That's some great racing. You believed it. Yeah, Gisette said Lewis. We talk about Charles. Sorry, you're talking about Lewis fighting with Charles. You're talking about George Russell fighting with Charles. They drained his battery in the fight with Charles. Well, I tell you what, he definitely drained his battery going past Charles Leclerc, did George Russell. And then Charles Leclerc, sensible, saving enough power to retake the position at the end of the straight. It's brilliant driving from Charles Leclerc. Really getting his head around these regulations and the 26 cars. Charles Leclerc's driven a brilliant race so far. Staying ahead. He's just got to hold the challenge of Russell off for just 2 more laps. It's lap 51. Jeremy says Val should be fired. James Val's from Williams. Well, if he does, maybe Christian Horner should buy Williams. Buy into Williams at least. There's a battle between Norris and Hamilton. Norris in front of Hamilton, P5. Hamilton P6, Norris P5, Russell P4. It's a great battle for the podium. George Russell is going to be wondering, what have I done wrong? P1 to P6 to fight back to P4. Jack Black has got the checkered flag in his hand. Kimi Antonelli is going to definitely take the checkered flag. Lap 52. It's a great race from Kimi Antonelli. All the plaudits belong to him. The F1 gods obviously bringing out the safety car. A lot of favours for Antonelli there, but he still had to do the job. He played the hand he was given, and he's going to take another race win for Kimi Antonelli. Maybe Mercedes should get all behind Kimi Antonelli and tell George Russell, you need to support our #1 driver, which is Kimi Antonelli, for World Driver Championship. Lewis having some power. Oh, George Russell putting a move on on Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc closing the door on the last lap. George Russell, can he do it at the end of the start-finish straight? Is he close enough? Did he try and put a move on Leclerc too early? I think he did. He tried to make a move at the end of lap 52. He should have waited. He should have been patient. Leclerc now holding Russell at bay. This will be a brilliant podium for Charles Leclerc to get this P3. A brilliant podium. Piastri, a brilliant P2. He's out in clean air. He's got 2-second gap between him and Leclerc. Piastri done a great job all weekend. Faster than his teammate. Out-qualified his teammate. Out-raced his teammate. Piastri, P2 for McLaren. They are back in this fight for the championship. Great news for McLaren. Do smash a like on the video if you've enjoyed this Grand Prix and enjoyed this watch on. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You are really helping the channel out by doing those things. So do it before the race, at the end of the race. But join the community. That's the big plus. Here it is, checkered flag. Checkered flag for Kimi Antonelli. He wins in Japan. A fantastic race for him. Piastri coming through now to complete his lap. 14 seconds behind Kimi Antonelli. Takes P2. And Charles Leclerc takes a brilliant podium. A brilliant P3 for Charles Leclerc. Russell down in P4. What has gone wrong? Verstappen trying to fight Gasly for P7, but Gasly holds him off. It's a great fight there for Gasly and Verstappen. Gasly holds off for P7. Fantastic drive for Gasly. Norris, P5. Hamilton, strong performance. P6 in the Ferrari. His fight with George Russell really made his tyres go off, which meant he couldn't retain that P3 he was holding. But still, it was a great team performance. That fight with Hamilton and Russell allowed Leclerc to get P3. Gasly P7. Verstappen P8. Lawson scoring a point in the Racing Bulls. It's a good point, that. P9. Ocon P10. Good point for Haas. First point, I think, for Ocon. Hulkenberg P11. Hadjar will not be pleased with that, down in P12 in the Red Bull. Bortoletto P13. Lindblad will be disappointed. Managed to get through to Q3. Started the race in P10 up to P8, but unfortunately out of the points this time. Then we got Sainz, Williams P15. Meh. P16 for Colapinto. Perez P17. Alonso P18. Wow. The Aston Martin finishing a Grand Prix. That would be remarkable. Bottas P19, Albon down in P20. Piastri pretty happy on the team radio. Pretty pleased with McLaren's performance and pretty pleased with his performance. And it's a great day, actually, for McLaren. P2, it is a great day. Stroll did not finish the race. DNF for Behrman as well, who had that off. Hope Behrman is okay. Looked like he may have had some sort of ankle injury, but hopefully Behrman is okay. Thane with his super chat says Russell is mid, Hamilton is washed, Lando is depressed. And Antonelli is on fire! That's what I think, Thane. Look, Russell... yeah, it's a mid performance from Russell. Not great, I have to say. He had some bad luck, obviously, with the safety car coming out when it came out. It's how he handled himself after that. I think Russell could have handled his race better after the disappointment. I am happy for Oscar as well here, Tank. It's a good race for McLaren. They were reliable. They both, Lando and Piastri, both finished the race, scoring some points for the team. And yeah, it shows now that it's not just Mercedes, then Ferrari, then everyone else. It shows it's Mercedes, then McLaren and Ferrari in the mix, then everyone else. It makes for some better racing. It means we're going to see some racing between the Ferraris and the McLarens as well as the Mercedes. So bring on Miami. I'm expecting all teams to bring upgrades, all teams to bring improvements. Ferrari are going to have a filming day. They're pushing for a test day with all teams in this 5-week gap before Miami. FIA need to rule on that. I don't know what that ruling is going to be. But Ferrari are definitely going to put in a filming day, which means they can run for 200 kilometres. Ferrari looking to bring upgrades. Expect the Macarena wing. Expect maybe some improvements to the engine map. Maybe some aero improvements for Miami. But yeah, I've really enjoyed this Grand Prix. Worth getting up at 5:30 a.m. I hope you've enjoyed the watch along as much as I have. Stay tuned for a video coming later today, which will be the race reaction. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you've got the bell all icon ticked behind the subscribe button so you get notified of all of our content. Keep a lookout for the race reaction a little bit later today. I will see you then again for the live streams as normal. News live streams Monday, 7:30 GMT. Thank you so much. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Get some rest if it's the middle of the night for you. And look out for that video. I'll see you a little bit later. Giuseppe, Ferrari's going to Monza to test. Yes, they are, Giuseppe. Yes, they are. But they're going for a filming day. They're trying to get all the teams to have a test day, but let's see if that happens. Good night, good morning, and ta-ta.